for your valuable time and willingness to share your expertise with us. A warm and greetings to all our respected faculty participants for your consistent presence throughout this FTP. With that, I invite our resource person, Mr. Amit Chandra sir, to kindly take over the session. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sweta, for again introducing me to the entire group. And good morning, everyone. Good
Thank you,
morning,
sir.
and it's great that you all have joined this cybersecurity workshop. Okay, and we are on the I think third day of our cybersecurity stage. So today, let first of all let me share my screen, and then we can go through that. Okay. Okay. So today's topic, which I am going to discuss, is zero trust security architecture. As of now, we have discussed on the cyber security. Okay, what is a cyber security is all about, and why it is important to strengthen your premises or the application for the cyber attack. What type of attack it could happen, and what are the current mechanism we are using because of which there are breaches. Yesterday I've covered that, the day before yesterday also the same I've covered. But today I'm going to talk about more about this zero trust security architecture. Okay, so this is very an important topic, and it's just give me a second. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, I think just give me a second. No? Sorry, no, I'm just okay. So this is a zero trust. This is a zero trust security architecture. Today we just I'm sorry. Uh, just give me a second. I'm getting a call. Okay, so let me give me. Hello, hello, hello. Savlin, make session later also. I will not able to be available till 1 and 45 minutes. है ना? 1 hour 45. So I hope I'm audible now, right?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can.
Sorry, I got an urgent call, so I have to pick that
No,
call.
okay,
But
no
I
worries,
now
sir.
I will go on mute. Yeah, I'm
Yes, sir,
really
no
sorry.
problem.
This is an office time, so a lot of calls are coming from the team members. Okay, so okay, so let's discuss on this. Today's topic is zero trust security architecture, and we have talked about the cyber security, what type of cyber security it is, how we can prevent from the cyber security, different type of attack which has happened in the current days. So this particular topic is that how we can secure our different layers of our application from the cyber attack. And first and foremost thing is the zero trust. It means it says that whenever we design any kind of platform, whenever we design any kind of platform or any kind of layer of architecture, we don't have to trust anyone. Okay, we have to validate each and every component of that entire architecture thoroughly before anyone could get the access of that. Okay, so that is the first and foremost uh, thing nowadays, is that don't trust anyone. if it is your close colleague, friends, or also any close connection, don't trust and don't share your data with them, because once you share your data has been lost or it can be misused by that. The same thing goes to the design of a platform, that when you design any kind of platform, then what are the layer of security features you will be able to inbuild, so that there will be less chances of security breach and no unwanted user will able to access the platform. So let's talk about the parameter security and versus the zero trust. So parameter security is a kind of old model. Okay. In that, what happened that there was a user ID and password. You give an user ID password and you are able to log into the platform and you will be able to access all the applications which are there in within that particular platform. For example, in the case of university, the VPN need to be connected or a Wi-Fi need to be connected, and you will be able to access the different kind of websites or website, lab website, everything in that. Okay, so that was the old process where there is a single login or a VPN login, VPN password lost, then it will be easy to break up. Now, what is a zero trust? Zero trust, as I said, that it is a never trust, always verify kind of mechanism. Okay. In this, every request is verified. Uh, suppose a user will log into the particular platform. Okay, there will be multi layer of verification will be happen. Okay, after that they will get access to multiple applications. Okay, and before using those applications also there will be a multi-factor verification. This application could be logical or physical. Okay, well, it could be through a web application or it could be in your premises. We have to make sure that if someone gets an for example, one example I will give you, that suppose I have an ID card and I just access that ID card and I get into the university. Okay, and after that there is no check. Okay, there is no verification being done. So it is quite easy for me that I can get access to any kind of premises within that university with that particular ID card. That was an old approach. Okay, now the approach has changed. Uh, in the case of physical verification, what happened that once you have an, first of all, you give your thumb impression, then a biometric verification will be done. Your face biometric verification will be done. Your thumb impression and the face biometric verification will be validated. Based on the validation, you will get into the university premises. Now you have to go to the server room. In the server room, again, you have to give your verification. So in that verification, it will check that whether you have the access to that server room or not. You have an access to the university. You have an access to the university. You can get into that. But whether that particular premises, that server room access is with you or not. If you don't have that access to the server room, then you will not able to enter to that particular room. Okay, but earlier what happened that it's all about within the university, everything is within the universities, and you once you get into the university premises, you can go here and there, right? So that's very much about the zero trust, where it says that each and everything need to be verified. Okay. If it is out of the location, then the location need to also be verified, that whether the location is from inside the college, outside the college, so I have given you a physical example that when a physical person visits the university and how the multi-factor authentication will be done. But in the case of web world, okay, which we say that in the case of this digital world, currently what earlier what happened that everyone go to the university, they do their work, and from that university only they try to log into the application and they can perform the operation, and at the end of the day they close that one and they come out from that university and the work is done. But nowadays the scenario has changed. It is more about the work from home, and every persons are working from home, they are accessing the applications. Okay, so the chances of cyber attack has been increased. Okay, now it might be possible that if our authentication is loose enough, okay, then the cyber attack can crack the password of us and they can enter to the area of the organization servers. Okay, So in order to prevent that one, it's very important that although the attacker has got access to your user and password, but they will not able to access the server room or any kind of lab applications, because for that there will be separate kind of authentication need to be done. Along with that, it's very important, the mindset need to be very much clear that the access limit should be there. Okay, so whenever we design any kind of application, we have to make sure that we don't give all the access to a particular person. Whatever the work he has, those type of access we can give him. Otherwise, if that person's ID is compromised, the credential is compromised, then it will damage the entire application. Okay, so why this is required? Because it is required so that you are just reducing the risk. Okay, so something, if some breach happen, then it will only impact the small area rather than it impact the overall applications. Okay, that's why it's very important that you verify each and every segment or each and every part of the application before anyone could get into. Okay, in the diagram, it is very much clear that you can see that in the first diagram, one hacker is trying to breach the single web application, and then it get an access to all the applications in the left hand side. Okay, whereas in the right hand side you can see that there is a multi-factor authentication where after the user has given its credential, then a biometric verification is being done, and based on that biometric verification there are different kind of mechanism where verification method has been used to access the premises. Okay, so let's talk about the architecture. As I said, that it's a kind of security approach which says that no user, device, or application is trusted automatically. This is very important in terms of when you are having a best practice of cyber security is not to trust anyone, whether it is user, device, application. We, as an architect, we don't have to trust, or as a security person, we don't have to trust any user, device, and application. That will be a suspicious one. Okay, even if it is inside the organization networks. Suppose I'm within the access. We have seen multiple things that the organization Wi-Fi is open, and once you register that one and you are able to access the Wi-Fi of the university or any kind of organization, right? So that need to be also very much careful, and we have to make sure that limited access are being given to the organization. Okay, and also that if someone access the organization Wi-Fi also, they will not able to access the entire application. In this diagram, you can see that in the left hand side, it's an old approach. Okay, so I try to explain it with an example. So I will go through that one. Okay, so once upon a time in an office, okay, anyone enters the building could walk into any room and access anything. This was the older way of performing the operation. Okay, it was convenient because once we give given one access, then we will be able to roam here and there within the premises. So the headache is less, means what I will say, the complexity is less, and we don't have to perform multiple kind of verification within the same organization. But does this old way of thing is trusted everything? No. Let's take an example of Ravi. Okay, Ravi entered the office with his ID card, as you can see in the screen. Okay, once inside, he can access any system, whether it is finance, HR, project, research. Okay. Now, suppose if his ID card is lost, okay, the attacker can get direct access to all these particular areas. Okay. So, real-time example could be how the threat could be, because we know that nowadays it is not about the data center. Most of the data are on the cloud. Most of the people are working remotely. Thousands of personal phone number and laptop connected daily. Okay, so we can see that there are so many ways through which one can access your data. Okay, so, and third party access, we are giving access to the third party in order to, for example, nowadays that DigiLocker has comes into picture, and we access to the third party APIs. So when we give an access to the third party API, we have to make sure that we give access to the third party only for the purpose what what is it is meant for. Okay, not the other. So the authentication need to be very much careful. Whereas in the new way, what it says that Ravi want to access the financial system. Okay, the system verifies who he is, username, password, multi-factor authentication, the phone number, OTP. There you can also give some other kind of biometric verification, face verification. There will be three kind of authentication before it can enter to the app platform. Okay, first one will be the username and password. Then it will ask for a phone number, OTP, and then it will ask for a biometric kind of things. Okay. Once you give all those things, the system checks his device. Okay. From which device you have logged in, the IP address of that device. And it will check that whether your device is secure, whether it is up to date, all the security patches are there. And if all the security patches are there, then it will check that whether your device does not have any threat. Okay, the IP address does not have any kind of threat. And once this system checks it's done, then the system will check your access right. Okay, it will check that what role you have. Okay, which type of from which department you belongs to, and for that particular department what is the purpose. Okay, so what type of access for that particular department, for your particular role, the purpose has been defined. Okay, and that access you will be getting. So what will be the advantage of this? Once the access is granted, okay, you will only able to access what is needed. For example, if your department is finance and your role is related to an financial advisor, okay, then you will be only getting the access to the finance department, not the HR and the particular other research department. Okay, and within that finance department also, you will not be getting access to all the rights. Okay, so you will be only getting the access to generate a report, or you will not be able to get an access to update anything, because you are an advisor. Your role is to only look into the data and generate the report. Okay, so that's why the access right will be resumed. And other thing is that this will work same in the physical way also, that when we go to the building, okay, we give our ID card. Then in order to go to any kind of department room, the biometric verification will be done, the face verification will be done, OTP will be done. There are multiple way. And then only when we enter to that particular room, after that also you will not able to perform all the operations. Okay, there will be small rooms where each room will be performing a different operation, and the operations to which you belong to, you will be able to access to that room only. So we are just reducing the risk and just minimizing the access. Okay, minimizing the access so that at one go no one will able to access your all the data. Okay, because from the beginning only we are talking about the data, how data is important, and once the data is compromised, then how ransom attack will happen, and all those things we have discussed. So the more access we give, the less chances will be for the cyber attack. Okay, if somehow the cyber attack happen, then also it will not able to get into the entire platform. Okay, so you will just down one department, and the other department will be running as it is. Okay. So let's talk about, as I already covered this one. So this is just a user story which I have covered, where for a particular college, I have taken an example of a college story. So one password, two different outcome. Okay, same attack, same stolen password, old model equal to total breach, zero trust and access denied. So in this case, in the left hand side, it's the old model, that is the flat network, easy to breach, where I have given in a user story of a Rohan. Okay, it clicks a phishing link, and his college Wi-Fi password is stolen. Okay, I have also given you an example where I received a phishing mail, and in that mail it asked to reply to me. But before replying, I just notified to my cybersecurity team stating that I received this mail, and they told me that to not to do any kind of action and give us some kind of report to that, which I did. Okay, so in the same way, you will be receiving a mail with the phishing link, and once you click on the phishing link, your Wi-Fi password will be compromised. Once your password is compromised, the attacker can get into the particular network, and he will be able to access the student Wi-Fi, staff system, LMS, exam server, finance system, and research data. Okay, so everything is connected with that particular Wi-Fi. So so it could be done. So what can the attacker do? The attacker can view the student record, they can change the examination marks, steal the research data, access with lot of things the attacker can do, and the impact will be a financial loss, data breach, reputation of the college will get lost. The operation will get disturbed because because the security team has to down the application, and because of which the operation is not going to be happen. I have given an example of AIMS University, where the breach has been happened and they have to stop the particular application and all the things have been done manually. And nowadays we are so much habituated with the online with the computer that we have lost doing the manual work, writing something in a paper. For me, it is correct because I don't I lost the habit of writing in a paper and mostly write into my notepad and PowerPoint presentation. So in the old model, being inside the network means you can reach everything. Okay, one password, you will be completely access to the entire application. And the attacker story says that the phishing mail will come to you, the password will be stolen, Wi-Fi access will be granted, it will get into the network. Okay. uh, Once it get into the network, it can access any kind of system it is. Okay, and then the major breach can happen. But what about the zero trust architecture, which is at the right hand side? This kind of diagram I have put it in my slide so that you will be able to easily understand what I'm trying to say with an example. So in the right hand side, you can see that the attacker has tried the login by stealing the student Wi-Fi password. It has been authenticated, but after that there is a multi-factor authentication. It means the user has to give the OTP, which is sent to the mobile number of the user. As the attacker does not have the mobile number, so that attacker will not able to give the OTP. Along with that, once suppose he has the access to the student mobile also, he gets the OTP. Now it happened that the attacker can clone your mobile device, okay, and he can get the OTP. Then it will ask for the face authentication, biometric face authentication. So once the face authentication is been done, live authentication, it will be very difficult for the attacker to authenticate himself, because I have given few exam and where they ask to blink my eyes. Okay, they ask me to look into the camera, blink my eyes, they capture the movement of the face, and once I verified myself, then only they get access to the particular platform. Earlier, what happened that they click the photo and it could be a breach, that it could be a still photo. Okay, the hacker could be your passport size photo, and it can show into the camera, and you will be able to access. So this kind of attack has happened, and because of which they have come up with a new mechanism where they have to blink, you have to blink your eyes, and based on the movement of your face, it will recognize that okay, you are live. Okay, it means that this is the person you are, and based on that only you will be able to get an access to the application. Once you get an access to the platform itself, Rohan, the story person in this particular example, Rohan will only get an access to few of the application to which he is about to. For example, the learning management system, the library access, he will be getting an access to the library, he will be getting access to his profile, and not much more than that. So it is called a micro segment. Okay, that although Rohan, the hacker, has gotten access to the LMS zone, there is still a firewall which protect from the finance zone, exam zone, and the research zone. And above all, the security team has to keep on monitoring. Okay, it keep on monitoring that some suspicious things has happened, and because of which the breach has happened, and it will be notified to all the user, or the LMS zone will get down for some times in order to prevent some unwanted access to this LMS zone. So zero trust principle says that all the verification will be done explicitly, Least privilege will be given to the user. uh, the cybersecurity team always has to assume that some breach has happened, so they have to be always been alert. The architecture should be in a micro segmentation. It means that at one go, all the access to the department should not be there. Each department will have its own security features, verification features, and the security team has to continuously monitor the entire network. I have visited one of an government data center. Okay, this is my example as I'm part of a government. I have visited the government data center and I've seen that how they monitor the entire platform of the state government. Okay, there is a big room. There are around 100 people who are sitting over there, and they are looking into the projector. They are looking into the big screen as a movie hall. There is a big screen, and all the resources are sitting over there, and each resource has a specific job. Okay, they keep on looking into the screen, big screen, and they're trying to see that whether any kind of security breach are happening or not. Okay, this is how the things goes on, and you will feel very much fascinated. I have seen that one. So that is my experience. You also seen such kind of scenario happen. So this is how this continuously monitor that for any kind of threat is happening or not. Okay. So, what is the lesson learned from this kind of architecture is that the old model trust everyone inside. It means that once you get access to the premises, it means that you are part of that particular organization and you will be getting access to all the components, all the what departments of that particular organization. So it's work on that one verification, trust everyone. Whereas in the new approach is that zero trust. Don't trust anyone, verify everyone. Okay. It means that although you have an access to the platform, you will not be able to get into the specific department because that will still require a kind of verification. Okay. And whether it is student data system, any kind of things, it required a verification. So so, does it means that we are trying to block anyone to access the application or the department? Because some leadership team can feel offended that they are not getting access to the particular department. So in that case, it is not about blocking anyone. It is just protecting the organization and the college for an unwanted access. Okay. So the more, as I just yesterday only I've given an example of two operating system. One is the Windows and another one is the Linux. That Linux has given a less privilege, less access. That's why it is more secure. Whereas in the case of iPhone and Android also, it goes to the same way. I have worked for mainframe also. I worked for a mainframe technology, and you know that mainframe technology is basically used for the banking sector, insurance sector. Why the banking and the insurance sector are using that one, and why we say that mainframe is more secure? Because it is very difficult. First of all, it is very difficult to use mainframe technology. Okay. You have to be very much technologically expert. You should know COBOL, JCL, DB2 in order to access. There are commands. It's not something UI friendly kind of interface. Okay. And in order to get into the mainframe server, it's very difficult because there are a lot of things need to be done. So why this is, and whereas in the other server it is little bit less difficult to get into the. Hello. Okay, so it is less difficult to enter into the application because they are exposed to the outer world, whereas mainframe is not exposed to the outer world. Okay, so that is why it is more. So why this is the outcome or the learning from this is that the less access or the less privilege you give to the user, your organization or your university will be secure. Okay. Now, this is again an example where you can see that the left-hand side show an example where a attacker, this is a castle, okay, and this castle is been protected by the outside wall, okay, and you can see that earlier, the old old type of application was like this only. Okay, where the protect with the outside wall firewall or the outside wall, and if someone just break down that wall, then it can access to the entire castle, right? That is how it work. And we have seen in the movie also that they used to break the door of an castle, and once that door has been broken, everyone gets inside the castle, and they win that castle, right? So how it defined one strong firewall at the boundary. The same way in the movie, what we have seen, that they used to break the big door. Okay, and once that door is break, the all the soldiers get into that castle. Okay, so they feel that what they feel is that this big door is secure enough and no one will able to break that one. Okay, but that is not the case. Everyone able to break that one, right? So because of which you might have seen in some of the movies that although the enemy is able to break those particular door in order to get access to the king room, there is a kind of what I will say, the puzzles kind of things are there. The puzzles road are there where they forget that where to go. Okay, so that is an second layer of security which is being done for the king. Okay, that although they can break the door, they can get inside to the castle, but they will not get through that particular puzzles area. And after that, also, if somehow they pass on that or one also, then from that whole of that, they used to fire some bullets or fire some arrows to the enemy. So this kind of different kind of security mechanism are being introduced. So it's talk about one strong firewall at the boundary. They feel that once this boundary will protect us, but it is not like that. So the same way in the application earlier, it was an VPN password exposed and everything is exposed. Okay. Whereas in the zero trust, as I said that in the example of castle, that although they break down the wall, they will not able to get inside into the king room. They have to pass through multiple layer of security in order to reach that one. The same goes to over here. Although someone is able to breach the outside wall, for every component they have to again validate themselves. So every request verified user device and context. The location is also verified. It seems that suppose it's a daytime. Okay, now it is daytime in India, and at daytime if someone is trying to access an application, organization application from the US or Europe, it's the night time over there, then it's a kind of suspicious activity which the security team will monitor and see that someone is trying to breach the firewall and trying to access it from an unknown location. And at that time, it is not time for them to work on. Okay, so they will mark it as a suspicious, and they will take an action on that. Okay, so they will either they will deny the access, or they will register those IP address, validate that whether this particular IP address is for someone who is part of that organization or not. So in this way, the security team is keep on monitoring the entire thing. Although suppose they get the access to the location, limited access will be provided, and the breach stay contained in one segment only. Okay, so because of which, what is the advantage is that you got a stronger security features. Okay, continuous verification is being done, and list exposure is being done. Okay, you are getting a smarter access. Okay, access is based on your device, your face recognition, and your location. Okay. Breach containment is something that the once the breach is done, then also the attacker will not able to move freely within the premises. Okay. Cloud and remote Redis. Nowadays, cloud has become. I request if could you please go and mute. Hello. I request everyone, if you are not talking, then please go on mute. Yeah, thank you. So it's a cloud and remote ready secure access for hybrid workplace and cloud environment, and because of which your business will keep on going. Or if some part of your application is compromised, then that could be down, and the other applications will be keep on running. So it's we also call it as a microservices application. Okay. Now, this zero trust architecture works on three core principle. Okay, and it's very important to understand three core principle. First one is that verify explicitly. Okay, so it says that authenticate every request. Okay. And how you are going to authenticate, whether it could be a user ID password, whether it could be a kind of multi-factor authentication, whether it is monitoring the IP address, whether it is a kind of face recognition. So whatever the possible way is, you verify each user for every request. Okay. So first of all, you identify that who are you. Okay, the system will identify that who are you. Then it will identify that whether your device is secure or not. Okay. Then it will identify the location from where you are accessing, and then it will identify the behavior. Okay, means your, as I said you, that if someone from the US time at this moment try to access the application, then it's a suspicious. Okay. And also if he's trying to access, suppose he has got an access to LMS and he is trying to access some research application, then it's a suspicious. So each and everything will be monitored. So it says that don't trust. It basically don't trust, verify each and everything. Okay. So what will be the benefit of this particular principle is that it will provide a strong authentication and reduces the risk of unauthorized access. Okay. So the access will be for the unauthorized access, they will not able to breach that one. Now the next principle is that a least privilege. It means that once you have strength your identity, okay, you verify explicitly. The next principle is that the less privilege you give to the user, your system will be more secure. Okay. Grant the minimum access needed for the minimum time, like a hotel key that open only your room. Okay, this is an example. We sometimes we might have seen that if we are accessing an application and if we are idle for few minutes, it will automatically log out. Okay. So why that is so? That is because in order to have prevent that particular application or the platform from unauthorized access. Okay, so that's why and also that admin access only when required, means some admin will be there for your application, and it will you have to submit your particular request in order to access the application, and the admin will verify each and every details, and then only the application, then only you will be able to given access to that particular premises. Okay, so application access only specific function, and data access are not given to anyone. It's either it is to be given to the DBA. Okay, and not to others. Others can only able to view that one or add on update that one based on the application. Whereas the users who only want to see the report, they can only view that one. So limited exposure gives you an your application to be limited exposed to the outside world and ensure that users can only access only what they are needed. Okay. Assume breach. The third principle is assume breach. What does it talks about? It says that you always have to be alert. You always have to think that there is some breach happened into your application or your particular network. Okay. That mindset is always required, and whoever will be the network team, okay, the security team member, they have to be always in an alert, and they have to make sure that some breach is going to be happen. If they feel that their system is almost secure, they will be relaxed and the breach will happen. So it's very important that they feel that some breach has been happened. Okay. So this is a very three core principle are very important. One is the verify explicitly, least privilege, and assume breach. So basically, if I talk about zero trust architecture, it is not something that there are tools which support for this particular architecture, which I'm going to cover, but it's a basically a mindset. Okay, it's a mindset that you have to make sure that you know this three principle where you verify each and every user explicitly on a different layer of authentication. Then you give less privilege to the user within your premises, and then the security team has to make sure they are alert and assume that some breach has happened. Okay. One thing which I want to tell you that as we are discussing about zero trust architecture, so and we have multiple product as an IDS company, we are a service-based company and we develop multiple product, and out of that we have product related to verifiable credential which works on a zero knowledge proof. It means that although you have access, you will not able to identify who the user is. Okay, and we have a product for that, for the university, for the organization, how they can easily issue verifiable credential to the student, to the professor, to the all the user who are going to be a part of that organization, and without revealing much information, how they will be able to access that one. So for this particular product, I have talked to my team member and I told them to please join today and give you a demo. She is Anusha. She is our technology architect. Okay, and she is going to give the demo. She is going to join in 5 minutes, 10:45, and once she join, I will ask her to give you all a demo so that you will be able to understand that what is a zero knowledge proof is all about, and it is based out of blockchain. Okay, it is from the blockchain part, and you know that blockchain is basically for the security features only. Okay, in order to secure, there is cryptography mechanism which is being used on that. After that, we have another product that is a biometric product, that is an IDS biometric product. I'm going to run a demo for that. And in that demo, you will be able to see that how a biometric verification is being done. That product we have built, and we have a patent algorithm for that particular product. So I'm going to show you that one as well, so that it will give you an extra edge to understand this zero trust architecture. Okay. So before we can proceed, let me show you that video. Okay, and let me know that whether you are able to hear the audio or not. Okay, Sweta, just let confirm me, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please play.
Is it audible?
It is not audible, sir, actually.
Okay, okay, no problem. Let me share my screen again because might be.
Yeah.
Just give me a second. Is it audible now? Is it audible,
Yes,
Sweta?
sir. Audible,
Yeah.
sir. Audible,
Audible.
Okay.
audible.
Okay.
Okay, let me share the screen again. Okay, you just look it
Yes.
very carefully.
Your screen visible, sir.
So this is one of our product where we talk about the biometric, where your face will be your QR code, and you will be able to get an access to the premises. You only have to install, you are good enough to go ahead. Now this is another example where you can see that the user has given the Aadhaar card. Okay, it has been integrated with DigiLocker, the face authentication biometric, and the user is giving the Aadhaar card. It gets access. It asks for an OTP. This is a multi-factor authentication. Okay, now the user has to give the OTP. Then it's click on the submit button. Okay. Now the verify security pin, it is asking for the security pin. It also see, it's a multi-factor authentication, right? Two authentication the user has to give. It again click on the submit button. I know you all have seen such kind of login application. Now this is something the person having the driving license detail, the photo and everything. Now he is going to verify. The person is going to verify. It's a live face. Okay. Once it is verified, the face verified, then the face compare result has been done and the KYC has been done. So this is how the face multi-factor authentication is being done. Okay. So now this is one of a kind of so few use cases for our ideas biometric. Okay, which I want to showcase, and which gives you an exposure to the real world. Okay, so now how it happened is that, for example, let's take an example of Srinathji temple. Okay, the advanced face enrollment central database arrival. The person arrives at the temple, the face recognition happened, the biometric is being done, the live face is captured, and it has been matched with the database, and the user is good to go ahead. Okay, the same algorithm has been used with DigiYatra. Okay, and uh, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay, my one of my team member is calling. See, just give me a second. Okay. Yeah, Anusha, are you here, or you are about to join?
Hi, Amit, I've joined.
Yeah. Thank you, Anusha. So as I'm saying, everyone, that Anusha is our technology architecture, and who has entirely developed the verifiable credential. And today I called her from her busy schedule to give us a presentation of verifiable credential, and how security wise it is very important to have such to develop such kind of product for our university. And if you like the product, and if you want to get in touch with us, please let us know. But from the knowledge point of view, for a cybersecurity point of view, please look into that product, and it will help you a lot. So I will ask Anusha to showcase the product, and after that I will continue with my rest of my slides, because practically also it is very important that you understand all the cybersecurity products, so that you will be able to implement on your universities, and you will be able to understand more about that. So Anusha, over to you, and well, thanks for joining this meeting.
Thank you, sir. My warm welcome to Anusha ma'am on behalf of Department of CSC and CSCML. Ma'am, over to you. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you. So, I will be starting. Just give me a minute to connect
Yes,
my
ma'am.
phone.
Sure.
So Anusa Garg has many years of experience into the blockchain technology, and he is working on the technology side, architecting the entire solution, and also making sure all the security features are in place. And he has also worked for government of Bhutan, okay, for the verifiable credential. And now as a part of ideas, we have developed a product which can be used for any organization, university, colleges, government office. And she is going to just give you a small demo on how you will be able to secure your identity with the help of verifiable credential. Over to you, Anusha.
Thank you, Amit. So, so I understand that, we've been, or Amit has been guiding you people around how ZKP or zero knowledge proofs work. Right. So I think we've already established the preface that zero knowledge proof works on the pretext that I reveal to you something without revealing the actual information, or I prove to you something without revealing the actual information or the claim, as we call. And that is one of a very core aspect that we want, or we wanted to implement in an identity structure. So you all realize, right? Today, the biggest problem in the identity infrastructure is that whenever you want to go and you want to um, get a service or any product as well, you have to share so much information of yours, correct? But why is it required? Why am I supposed to give my phone number, my name, and things to just get a piece of clothing from a store? Right? Why am I supposed to, when I'm going for a movie or or I want to go to a club, or I want to, when I want to drive uh, a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, why at the check stations am I supposed to produce all of my information? Why can I not only say yes, I'm above 18 and I have a driving license, yes, I'm above 21 and I'm allowed to enter a club, yes, I am eligible to vote, right? Why can I not only give these, and I have a obviously voting card? Why can I not give only this information? Why should I share everything? Where am I coming from? What is my name? What is my address? What is my father's name, etc. attached to it? Why should I share unnecessary amount of information, which will then be stolen? And then I'll start getting spam calls, I'll get regular messages saying, oh, we are offering this, we are offering that, etc. Right? So that is what zero knowledge proof and SSI together comes to offer. So basically, what zero knowledge proof refers to is that when a prover, that is me, for example, tells the verifier that I know the secret, right? But I do not reveal the secret, but I can prove it to the verifier that I know the secret, right? Or I hold a claim, a valid credential or a valid claim, and I can prove it to him without revealing what the actual claim is. That is known as the zero knowledge proof, right? In zero knowledge proof, secret data is not revealed. There is completeness, there is soundness, and then there is zero knowledge, right? So in digital identity aspect, how we take it is that today in the landscape, we are sharing our full identity record. I think when we are, for example, going for a vaccination, right? We have to share our Aadhaar card with to which it is linked that we've been vaccinated, all our information, we submit our photocopies, etc., right, to them so that they can process it and then they keep the data with them. So as of now, we're submitting the whole identity record, our name, date of birth, national ID, home address, etc. Depends on which country or which state you belong to, information can change. But in zero knowledge proof, how it will be? Is age greater than a certain bracket? Verified. Do you hold a valid national ID? Verified. Do you, or is your residency eligible for this region or not? Verified. That is it. They just need a true or false answer in this case, right? They do not need actual data. Where are you from or what are you doing, right? Only a true or false answer should suffice in these cases. That is what our idea behind, zero knowledge proof in identity scapes is. So we have some actions, ZK powered actions, right, in EID stack, as in what all you can, do. You can do an age verification, right, for a service. You can do an age verification in college as well. For example, if you issued student ID cards and you want to verify that, suppose the EC comes to your colleges, it's very normal for EC to come so that they can create, voting IDs, voter IDs for the students. So to just get an age verification, you can use an age verification with zero knowledge proof for them. You can have selective disclosure. For example, if I am a student and I want to apply for a job tomorrow, so the employer in the initial stage does not need my actual marks, correct? They only need that I should be above 60% or I should be just in the pass range or above 75% or whatever. So in that, selective disclosure will play a role, right, in which I can reveal some part of an information that this is, yes, this degree is assigned to Anusha Garg, this is from XYZ institute, or this is the premise that she's passed, this is the course she's passed, and she was above this percentage. Selective disclosure with zero knowledge proof Then credential possession. That is, for example, there would be students, there would be what you'll say, who are in regular degree. Some people would be maybe in uh, distance learning, etc., in which they can prove their credential possession to you as well and to other people as well. So if you are issuing the degree certificates, students can go to other institutions and with blockchain verified credentials can prove, yes, I have a degree from so and so college. And this verification can be in real time, which will and they cannot even change the claims. So if you've said that the student has issued or the student has scored 98 out of 100 in certain subject and 58 out of 100 in certain subject, that stays at the proof of truth because it is tied to a blockchain which is tied to a transactional hash. They cannot change it themselves to produce at any institution. So this reduces the overload of
So
universities to,
Anusa, thanks for bringing this point. I want to say you that this point is very important, which Anusa has mentioned, that the source of truth. Okay, you might have seen on your regular day-to-day basis that there is a mobile, someone has a device that scan the QR code and they gives access to the particular premises. But that particular data is currently it is in a centralized database. Okay, and we know that if it is in a centralized database, then there are chances that someone can manipulate those particular data. Either they can update that, they can delete that one and just remove the evidence. But with the help of blockchain, what happened once that verification is being done, it is recorded into the server and it is impossible to delete that data. Okay, within a click, you will be able to get a report that who has accessed those particular premises. So this is the difference between a centralized and a blockchain database, which is a decentralized. Okay, so thanks for Anusha for bringing this point. Okay.
yes. Then, for example, you want to check for CIBIL uniqueness check, right? We all have CIBIL scores. Today, anybody on this earth can access my CIBIL score, right? Which is such a big flaw from the industry itself. Why should my data be exposed without my consent to anyone, right? They should only be able to check if I am eligible or not, where zero knowledge proof now will play a very big role in consent management and also in this in requiring the what you'll say, this uniqueness check and CIBIL checks that, they only need information to verify if I'm eligible or not. They should not get my exact scores and things without my consent, right? I think this is one of the breach that we all are facing, but we are all okay with it. Fine. That's okay if they're getting my CIBIL score, but it is not, right? Then we come to cross-border verification. This is one of the coming of age things. I think we all who've been traveling a lot have faced this, that when we travel to a multitude of countries, getting a passport verified, getting passport authenticated, visa authenticated has becoming a what you'll call it, it's becoming a tedious task, right? Again and again, you have to go to that office, get it verified. There is such a long line, immigration is there, etc. In this case, I think with Indian services, we are already fast tracking it using VCs, but other countries can also start adopting it. And since blockchain is available globally, and this verification can be done globally, so it can be powered globally as well, everywhere. So if I, as an Indian citizen, go to US and US government wants to verify that I'm an Indian citizen who is here on travel visa, they just need to put in they just need me to scan a QR code and the verification will be done there and there in seconds, which is like, ease at which we can, uh, what do you call it? Verify somebody at cross border as well. And this will become a key feature when we're also doing the refugee management, which is, I think, one of the key areas where India is now looking into. Then obviously I come to consent-based sharing, which is like, I think today the need of hour, where people are understanding the basis of where consent is coming from. They're falling into social engineering scams, and where consent is now playing the biggest role to handle and to verify and to revoke, right? Consent from websites and organizations, etc., to only share what is required and not share everything which we've already shared, right? Or revoke the access to what we've shared. So basically, with zero knowledge proof, EID stack, how it helps is that there is zero, you can have zero personal information exposed to the verifier. You'll have one cryptographic proof that replaces a document, and there can be infinite verification possibles. You can have a full claim exposure, you can have a selective disclosure, or you can have a zero knowledge proof. So just to showcase one such application to you. So what we've done is here we've created a dashboard as a sandbox, which can.
So Anusha, we can only see your PPT. So are you sharing that
Oh, is it?
application? Yes, yes.
Yes. Just let me just share it again. Give me a minute.
So this particular which Anusha is presenting is one of our IDS product where you will be able to easily able to issue your credential to the student, to the faculty member, to whatever wherever you want to. Okay, and without revealing much information, the user will able to get an access to the premises. Over this is the particular. We can see your platform, Anusha. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So this is what we call as a sandbox. So this is a sandbox which we, usually give it to people to try, and after engagements, like, to try out a few issuance and verifications through. So what is this responsible is? Think of it as your authority or an issuing authority who's responsible to issue a credential to somebody. Right. For example, in the context, you can have an institution, right? Institution as some college who wants to issue a credential to one of the, for example, to one of its student or all of its student. So, for example, I just take one of this as an issuer, right? And I go to issue credential. Here I have a few options. This create schema basically refers to creating, first, this is a one-time job into creating what kind of credential you want to issue. For example, if you want to issue a student ID, so you'll enter it here, student ID. I've created a couple of student IDs, so I'll just give it a version 3.0. I can have different attributes here. I can have my name here. I want the display name to be name. I can have date, uh, maybe I'll have date of birth, and I can have it as the OB. Then I can have maybe address, and here I can have it as add, right? And I can have more number of fields and less number of fields as well. So if I create just to create a schema, so my create schema is created successfully. Then over my schema, I'll create a cred def. I'll just select the schema I just created. Then I will take a version
So
tag.
basically, this is something a schema has been created for a student ID. Okay, and based on that
Yes,
schema now, Anusha is just creating an ID for them. Okay,
right.
so that
So
you will be able to issue that. Okay.
right. So now what we'll do is we'll issue credentials. Now with the issue credentials, there are a couple of options that you can do. You can issue them directly, these credentials, or one more this thing you can do is you can issue them these credentials using bulk as well for students who have already on, like for example, you have thousands of students who are already onboarded. So for them, you can also use bulk issuance option, right? So
So,
here,
for
like,
example, suppose some exam is going on, very critical exam is going on, and you have to issue the credential to all the student with this platform. So you just have to upload the Excel in this particular platform, and the verifiable credential will be
right,
issued to all the students. And it will hardly take a minute to issue those kind of credential to them.
correct. Right. So you don't even have to use this platform. This platform is only for reference purposes. This basically is your existing platform, right? You can integrate these 10, 15 APIs in your platform and you can issue it from there
Yes,
itself. This
yes.
is just a reference platform in which you can, do a test and trial of how things are running. So as I've showed you two APIs integration, this is my third API integration, right? So here, if you see, we created this. Here I can have a name, I can have a date
So
of
this is
birth,
something the
and
credential is being
address.
issued for Anusha, where the name, the student is Anusha, date of birth, and the address. So now
Yes.
the credential will be issued to Anusha. Can you
Right.
do that one? Yes.
Yes, I'm showing that. So here, if you see, just give me a minute. So if you see here, this is my mobile application. I'll just enable it. And so this is how our mobile application looks like. So if you see here, I have two credentials here. One is my national ID, and second is a student ID that I issued to me yesterday, right? So what I'll do is I'll not issue a second student ID. What I'll do instead is I'll issue one in which I have enabled my zero knowledge proof. So I have changed my tenant here, and I go to issue credential side, and I'll issue a credential to me. So I'll just take this and I'll continue. I'll enter my name as
So this is
Anusha.
same as you are issuing an ID card for the student Anusha Garg
Correct.
with the age, and if it is more, if that particular Anusha age is 29, then only he will be able to get into the examination center. Okay, that is something example we are giving. Okay. Now see
Right.
that the QR code has been generated and it will now what there is a mobile app. Okay,
Yes.
of
So
Anusha.
now, if you see here, I have a QR code, right? So we've integrated it with multitude of samples. You can also use it as QR code. You can use it as link. You can send this invitation whole QR code with this link and email as well to students so that they can use from their direct from their Gmails, right? So I go to the mobile application. From the mobile application, I will scan this. It will say accept. It will scan my face and verified. So why is the face liveliness check important here is that the face liveliness check is important because I need to verify that it is the correct person who's accepting this offer, right? Or somebody else should not be accepting it on my behalf. So that's why we've integrated a face liveness check as well. I think I'll have to reissue this. This was a bit late. Let me just do it again.
I think Anusha, that is fine. I think you can show some existing ID only. The credential has been
Yeah.
issued. If it
No,
is
I have
taking
to
time,
take this one. No, I
no
have to.
problem.
It's just taking. Okay, I'll just leave it for a bit. It should do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I'll go to the role of a verifier. So when I go to the verifier role, so this is how my verifier looks like, right? Now
So this
here we have,
verifier could be any college faculty member or any administrative department who can see that for a particular purpose or for a particular examination, how many verification has been happened, how many schema has been raised, and all
right,
this data are coming from the blockchain. Okay.
right. So here on this page, if you see, yeah. So here, if you see, I have something called as verify credential. Now, when I go to verify credential, I have two options here, selective disclosure and ZKP, right? In the selective disclosure side, if I select a schema version and I say continue, right? It is asking me for two fields, name and age, right? It's asking me for both the fields. I can either do both or I can just, deselect one and I can generate a QR code. Once this QR code is generated, it's the same that I scan it from my phone and I share the information. The second is a ZKP based, right? In which when I select my schema that I want to check this schema. Now, why am I giving that I want to check this schema is basically saying I want to check that this person has this ID card or not, particular ID card. When I'm selecting the schema ID, I am ensuring that it is coming from this particular credential only. For example, if I go to passport office, then I'll select Aadhaar schema here. Why? Because I want to ensure that the verifying authority, oh sorry, the prover or the holder actually has an Aadhaar card and this data is coming from their Aadhaar card. So that is why I'm selecting this. When I click on continue here, so I need to add a predicate, right? I click on add a predicate. Here I'll add that age. I can change here is greater than, is at least, etc. And I can give a value. For example, I'm giving here 18 and then I generate a QR. When I generate a QR code and I try scanning it, I think my credential is still not accepted, so it will not work. But when I try sharing it, this request should fail. So it shows no credential found. Why? Because from the set schema ID, I did not have it. So I'll deny it. I can actually share also and it will fail. So what I'll do is I'll just do it from student ID. Okay, I'll go to
So
selective
can you show
disclosure.
Anusha some existing IDs?
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Give me a minute. So I'll just go to Gitanjali and I'll go to verify credential.
So
Here I'll
Gitanjali is
select,
also one of an university for which we have given them the access to this particular platform, and they are using this one. So that is how the things goes on.
yes. So just scan this. Share. So this is how it comes. It says that these are the details and I share. I verify my face.
So
Right.
your face is been very is a part of an authentication. Okay, as I said in my session that how the authentication will be done. So it's a part of that authentication so that at least you will get into the wallet and you will be verified based on the verifiable credential issued to you.
Right. And here, if you see, the proof is verified. Now, why is, like Amit is mentioning, why is face verification important? Is because though the whole application is encrypted by your personal biometrics and your PIN, but still, if application is left open maybe for a minute and somebody is trying to access it, we also want to restrict that. That's why we have engulfed an extra check of this thing of liveliness test so that you can monitor that it is the correct person, which we also give as a solution for attendance. Now if somebody wants to mark their attendance, in that case we have two cross sharing, that is one for the VC which you just saw the same similar fashion, and second is by using the face verification. So once the face is verified, then only with the VC combined, we say that yes, this person was present for the class. If not, we reject the attendance. So that is how we work with, a multitude of cases using biometric and this. So I think now you've seen how the verification also happened. I'll try a ZKP based also here. I'll just select one. It's not working. Okay, so it's not working for this, but yeah, so this is how we usually verify our credentials.
Yeah.
So
I
Amit, over
think,
to you.
yeah. Thank you, Anusha, for giving us the demo of the particular ID stack product what we have, and it could be used for organization, it could be used for academia, everything. And if you want any demo, please let us know. My team is going to give you a demo for that. Along with that, if you have any question to ask, please ask question for this particular product. Anusha and me is over here to explain you. So any question, we will be it is over to you for 3 minutes. Please ask the question, and then we will start with the course again. Okay, I think you have looked into the product. Okay, and later on, if you have any question, please let us know, and we will be happy to answer those. Okay, now I will go ahead with the with my session. Continue with my session. I have just given you the demo to showcase you that how what are the mechanism can be used in order to prevent the cyber attack, and how the technology is evolving. Okay, when we talk about blockchain, AI, see, we have to understand all these three technologies are different. Most of you have heard about blockchain, AI, and cyber security. Okay, so we have to understand this, each one, how each one of these have its own purpose. Okay, when we talk about cyber attack, it means that so many data which are residing into our database and that are getting used into the web application. Okay, web world. And in order to protect that one from the cyber attack, what is the from the internet attack, lots of best practices are required. Okay, I think Anusha, it's great that you have joined, and thank you for joining this meeting. I think you are busy with some other work also. So if you want, you can leave it. Okay, I will carry it from here. Okay.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you,
Thank you, Anusha.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry
So,
to interrupt, sir. We have a question in the chat
yes,
box.
yes, yes.
One
Yeah.
question.
So, what is the question? Let me ask. Is
It's an
there any
is there
method to check the performance of ZKP, Anusha?
For what kind of performance do you want to check?
Purnima, could you please answer the question which Anusha has asked so that she will be able to answer you? Are you talking about the performance of the application?
See, ZKP because is a concept, right, which runs on an infrastructure. So the performance we monitor for infrastructure. We do
I
not
think Anusha, I
monitor.
think she might, yeah, no, sir, encryption method. Okay.
Yeah, maybe. So, Purnima, see, that's what I'm saying. There are multitude of, you'll say, vectors. So one is you can check the performance of the infrastructure where ZKP is hosted. Second is you can check how strong the encryption is and what kind of data is being shared, right? For that, we already have something called as agents who monitor that whatever is required, only that is shared, nothing else is shared. That is how the requests are placed. So in the entire ecosystem, which people cannot touch the base layers, right, that we've designed, in that itself, it is defined that if the request comes, whatever comes is directly shown to the holder on their individual mobile devices. So they can coordinate it from there to judge that, what is being shared. And this is highly encrypted using ED25519 keys that we generate for every individual, and it is encrypted using that and shared. So we have other algorithms as well, which we use for cryptographically, binding these things. But as an individual ZKP performance, I am not sure, like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, 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 Divya Rani, yeah. See, the I haven't mentioned in the PPT because that PPT is more a kind of giving you a training on the cyber security. I especially mentioned called Anusa for the particular product demo what we have, and this is one of a product which is not entirely on a cyber security. It is based on a product. This product is based on a blockchain, and it support all kind of mechanism which are used in cyber security. Okay, it perform those tools. You might have seen in my PPT that I'm continuously talking about the face authentication, multi-factor authentication, all those things. And in that application, you have seen that the multi-factor authentication are being used by Anusha when she gives the PIN, face authentication, and everything. Okay. So basically, cybersecurity is a kind of practice with which by different kind of tools, how you will be able to secure your platform. Okay. So the security could be a face authentication, QR based, mobile OTP, user ID, password, VPN, all type of back mechanism you can use. That's why this particular product I haven't mentioned in PPT. Okay. And I have given you the demo only, directly a demo only, because the demo will only able to make you more understandable about what we are talking about. Okay. So I hope I am able to answer the question. Okay. Hmm. So I think I can continue with the rest of the topic, Anusha, and thanks for joining. Okay, because we have a hard stop of 11:45 and I have to complete the things. Okay.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. So let's continue our rest of the topic. We have shown you a demo on the verifiable credential, that is an EID stack. I have given you a demo on biometric, that how your face will be a QR code. So all these mechanism are what we are saying this one. all this mechanism is something never trust, always verify. Okay. And you can see in this slide that how the verification is happening. And my team member, when Anusha joined, she has scanned her face, and after the face is being scanned, then only it is able to verify that but she is the user or not. Okay. So that is what I'm talking about, that this particular architecture, zero trust architecture, is how various kind of mechanism you can put together, and you can make your particular platform as a zero trust architecture where you verify each and everything of the user. So it's a practice. Okay. You can see that in this slide, I mentioned that zero trust architecture is a security approach. When we talk about an approach, that what are the things we can do so that we can make our particular application more secure. Okay. So and these are the mechanism what my colleague has shown you, what I have shown you in a video, that what are the mechanism you are going to use, whether you going to use a blockchain, whether you are going to use a QR code authentication, you are using for mobile OTP, multi-factor authentication, whether you are using captcha, all those things are authentication. Okay. Verification by which you will be able to access the application. So, what are the building blocks? Then, as I said, that what are the things you will be able to do so that you can make your particular platform zero trust? First of all, is that you should have a strong identity. Okay, you should have your IMA and multi-factor authentication is place, and how it is going to use. It will tell you that who are you. Okay, it means that before entering any application or a building, you have to show your ID card. Then once that ID card you display, you will get an OTP. And once you display the OTP, the next step, it could be that it will scan your face, it will match it to the database and see that whether you are the same person or not. And then only you will be able to get into the building. Okay. Or an application. Okay. So it's a simple example I've given, is that just like when you go and withdraw money from the ATM, if someone has the card of you and the password, he can quickly go to the ATM, enter the card and give the PIN number, and can withdraw money. So is there will be any kind of mechanism where there will be a camera, and that camera will scan your face, and based on your face, it will capture your face liveliness and check with the face which is already there in the database, and match that whether the card holder face which is there into the database and the person who is withdrawing the money are same or not. If they are not same, then the authentication will be fail. Okay, currently it's all about a PIN what we are entering. Okay, so that is a strong identity, multi-factor authentication we can put when we are withdrawing money from the ATM. Now the device posture check. The next step is that suppose someone has access to your application or platform, then you check the device readiness. Okay, you check that whether the device is updated with all the security features or not, whether the antivirus is installed, no virus detected into the particular device which is trying to access the platform. Okay, if out of these any of the checks are failed or validations are failed, then you stop those particular device to access your platform. Okay, see, it could be a simply a kind of any kind of high security zone where we find any kind of bag, suspicious bag. We might have seen that there are multiple checks which happen into the airport. Okay, first of all, they check our Aadhaar card along with the boarding pass, and once they check that one, manually verify that one. Nowadays, Digi Yatra has comes into picture, and Digi Yatra is also into the algorithm of biometric face recognition and verifiable credential. What we have shown you into our demo. Okay, so once you access to that, then also all your bags are being security checked. Okay, all the luggage bag are being checked for security, properly checked, and see that whether there is any kind of device which are not required in the plane. And if it is present, then you have to give, either you have to give the justification or you have to throw it out. Okay, so every step the security check has been done. In the same way, you have to do the same thing for your application also. Micro segmentation is that for your platform, you have to divide each department into a micro segment. Okay, for one department you have to create a micro segment, for other you have to create a micro segment, so that for getting access to the every department, and separate kind of authentication is going to be done, so that if someone breach the one and two, he will not able to breach the third point. Okay, the other part will be a policy engine, where you keep record that who has access what. Okay, so first of all, you will be keep on checking that, okay, if someone has access of your system, then who the user is, which device they have logged on from where. And now once you have all the report, all the data in place, then you keep on continuously, with the help of AI, you can keep on checking that is there any kind of suspicious things are given or not. So when all these checks are done, then only you can give the access to that. Okay. So the third part is the continuous monitoring, which I said that, the cybersecurity team should be keep on checking and keep on minute watching that who has entered to the premises or the platform, and with based on various kind of mechanism which are installed into the platform. And the sixth one will be the data center control, where you will protect your data by encrypting that one, by putting into the blockchain, by putting it into a kind of password protected area. And the database should be an access authorized access could will only able to access those particular database. So if I talk about a simple definition of each of this topic, is that it works on a strong identity. Okay, first of all, verify who the user is. Then device posture is that allow only secure device. Okay, if it is up to date device, you we might have seen that when we are accessing bank mobile application, then it sometimes it's asked to update the particular mobile application. But if you don't update that one, then it does not allow us to enter to the mobile application. It first asks for to update. So that kind of things, that all the security updates should be there, and without all those conditions checklist, no one will able to enter that particular platform. Micro segmentation give access only to the required area. If I have access to the account, then for example saving account, then I will be only able to see the saving account. I will not able to see the other car loan or other department detail. Policy engine is something that the DBA or the admin department or the cybersecurity team will keep on checking that who has access what on a continuous basis, and if anything suspicious happen, then they immediately report that one. That too belong to the continuous monitoring on after the person has logged into the application. Okay, data center control, it means that at last at the data center layer we have to encrypt the data. Okay, and when you will understand about blockchain, you come to know that in blockchain all the data are been encrypted, okay, into the system, and it's secure. Okay, and the algorithm which are used in blockchain are SHA-256 kind of algorithm, where where if you have the permission, then only you will be able to encrypt that one. And during the transmission of the data from one user to another, in the case of blockchain, it is transferred in an encrypted form, where through the digital key or a digital signature, the data is been encrypted, and only the intended person to whom the data is belong to will able to decrypt that one. Okay, that is how the blockchain works into. Okay, so few of the method for zero trust are: you should have a strong identity and access mechanism. You can enforce multi-factor authentication to all the user. You can use SSO for your application. You can list down your privilege access, and if some user is an idle for a couple of hours, you can just remove that from that application. Device trust verification you can done. You keep on checking the validity of the device identity, the health of the device, enforce compliance policy. That is very important in terms of security. ISO part that you enforce compliance. Okay, block unauthorized access and risky device. Network segmentation and micro segmentation is that, I have already said that for each department you are going to keep a separate kind of application or server, so that it should not be mixed up with other department. And least privilege access and policy enforcement, that you grant minimum access required. Okay, role-based access. Whenever you design any kind of application, then you give a role-based access. The API should be a tokenized base API, and every time you evaluate the access, continuous verification need to be done. Okay, data classification and protection, it is very important, because we are going to talk about DPDP in our later session. So this data classification and protection is very important, because nowadays personal data is very important. And government has said that in order to capture the personal data of a user, you have to take a permission, and the user will have the right to delete the data from your application. Okay, so for that, it is very important that you classify the data, that what type of data you are capturing, and how you are protecting the data. Okay, so those data could be classified as a public data, internal use data, confidential data, or sensitive data. Okay, all those data, if it is a kind of sensitive data, then you can encrypt those data and during the transmission. Okay, you can apply DLP policies, control access based on that. You also have to make sure that your application is secure. You get a secure access to the application. It could be through the secure API. One of my team member has already said that for the verifier, that EID stack, you can use the platform. We will be providing you the API, which you will be able to integrate into your existing application. Now, our API is very much secure, where it validate each and everything, and then only they give access to our application, our database. So API through secure gateway is very important. We have to use API security and tokenization, as I said. Protect against, you have to keep on monitoring that what type of attack are there in terms of API, and you have to protect your API from that. And and most of the application which are very important, and that need not to be exposed to the internet, that need to be secure into a firewall, secure firewall. Okay, based on the continuous monitoring, you have to detect the threat and respond on that. Okay, so we will be able to do that one. And encryption and key management, as I said, that this is very important, that suppose you can't keep sensitive data open into your database. You have to encrypt that one with the help of a key, and those key has to be secure in a key management system. Okay, KMS. So okay, you have to keep those keys into an wallet securely, so that it could not be stolen. And with that key only, anyone will able to open those database data in order to read or write anything. Okay, monitoring, logging, and analytics. I have shown in one of our product that how the verifier is able to see the dashboard, and what are the verification has been done. So these are very important for the leadership point of view, where they will be able to verify that whether any kind of unwanted access has been happened or not for the cybersecurity and leadership team. Okay. Now, what are the practices which we can do is that risk-based access control. Okay, you can have a risk-based access control. You can automate because doing manual will be a tough job. Then you have to use certain kind of tools to automate that one. Cloud security control. This could be done by your DevOps team. Okay, the cloud team. If you're using a cloud infrastructure for your premises, if you're using a data center, then your infrastructure team is going to help you on that. Endpoint security is something the network team is going to help you on this, that what type of security mechanism you can use. Third party and supplier trust, you have to sign an NDA with the third party, and you have to check, the security team has to check everything before you integrate your application with the third party users API. Okay, so these are the things you have to take care, and because of which, what will be the outcome for your university and the organization is that you will get a stronger security, and it will reduce the risk. It will protect the data from the critical asset. Okay, it support the digital transformation, as we know that we are transforming in digital, and we have AI, blockchain, cyber security, lot of data analytics kind of tools which are being used. So how you can protect your data from them. Okay, basically the important part is that you have to protect your data, and you have to take care of all those mechanism in place, so that the this is the I already said that these are all the best practices which you have to follow whenever you are going to develop any kind of application, or you have to keep on observing the things into your particular premises. Okay. This is an university campus. I already mentioned in this that there is a flat network, and once the hacker has gotten access to the network, he will be able to access to all the servers in the left hand side, and whereas in the right hand side there is a login been done, then multi-factor authentication is been done, then it get an access to the learning management system. And apart from that, if he want to access to other department, the authentication will be fail. And for example, suppose with the cookie only, the hacker has able to hack this session, then after that also after few interval, the session can be expired, so that the hacker will be disconnected. Okay. So all those kind of mechanism need to be practice need to be followed. Okay. This is a network segmentation. Okay. So in this, I have mentioned that one of a student who is a previous student for us, that is Rohan. Okay, he just click on the Wi-Fi and access that one. Whereas in the zero trust architecture, you can see that what are the level of verification is being done. First of all, the user is verified through different ways. That is multi-factor authentication, identity provider, single sign-on, and all those mechanisms. The user is verified, then the device is being verified by the health checkup, patch update, antivirus, all these things. Then the user location is being tracked, time, network, all those things are being captured. And then the policy engine, which take care that who has logged in, what type of privilege it has. Okay, based on that only the access will be allowed, whether it is to the application gateway, application layer, or database. Okay, and this could be, this particular layer could be supported by micro segmentation. As I already mentioned, that each department will be divided into a segment. You will be having a least privilege to all these layer, continuously monitoring on those layers, and there will be a kind of dashboard which will showcase if any kind of threat is going to be appear for the cybersecurity team, and all the things will be audited. Okay, a log should be captured into the database to make sure that later on we can look into that. Some of the security mechanism is that could be implemented. A SOC, security operations center, logs, analytics, alert, insert, that could be done. Okay, so why it is used for the university is to protect the student privacy, prevent unauthorized access, secure your cloud and on-premises from unauthorized access, support remote learning, because most of the student and most of the people nowadays are working remotely. Me too is working remotely, and we know that how secure our infrastructure is. So in order to work effectively, we have to secure our network, and we also have to make sure that our compliance are ready, because ISO, CMMI, all these are the security layers certification, and these are the practices which makes your particular infrastructure secure. Okay, so this is how the things goes on. Okay, now these are few of the things that you can see into the screen. That first one is the cloud application. Okay, so now someone from the premises using the email, LMS, even from the cloud, there is a firewall. We have a VPN. Okay, VPN, subnet, all security groups, all those in our cloud infrastructure, which help us to protect from the outside world. Remote and hybrid work, staff grade paper from home network, you cannot control those. So basically, this is something how you are going to secure. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So as I said that one way is that to stop the entry of an unauthorized user, and that could be done with the help of multi-factor authentication. First of all, something, it means that you have given the password, the user has set up the password, so it can enter the password and pin. Okay, something you have, it means that based on the phone, I will be receiving an OTP, a security key, and I will enter that one. And something you are, it means that once I've given that what I know, what I have, then I will show that who I am. Okay, based on the face authentication. So this three layer of authentication is required in order to access the platform. Okay. And UPI, one example is that a UPI payment need your phone plus your PIN. We might have seen, right? The phone and PIN is required. A theft will only your PIN or only your phone cannot pay. Apply to the same idea to the email and LMS. Okay. Now the segmentation, I already mentioned that one thing is that flat network where there is an infected lab PC and that is connected to your exam server. And once that exam server is being breached, that can go to the financial system and all other malware will be spread everywhere into the network. Whereas in a segmented network, lab, admin, finance, and exam are separated zone. Okay, so when you will work with the cloud people or data central people, you will see that all these department are kept into a separate zone, because if one zone is been compromised, then the other zone will be secure. And plus you won't have to down your entire application. Okay, if for example lab application is compromised, then at least the admin, finance, and exam application will keep on running as a normal basis, whereas in flat the entire application has to be down. Okay, these are the tools layer wise. You can click a photo of this. Okay, so for identity layer, verify who the user is and ensure only the right person get access. So for that we have our Microsoft Intra ID, Okta, Ping Identity, ForgeRock, Cellpoint, Cyber, Delinea. All these are the tools and the vendors whom you can connect with and integrate into your identity layer in order to integrate the device layer. Endpoint detection and response, extended detection response. This is to check that your device health. Okay, and for that you can use Microsoft Defender, XDR, CrowdStrike, Sentinel One, all this Cisco, all this one. For network layer, Zscaler, all those things are there. Okay, I will not go into the detail of each and every tool. You can have a screenshot of this. Application layer is to secure our application from attacker, and for that you can explore, at least you can explore all those tools. Data layer, for this you can explore Microsoft Viewer, Symantec, AWS KMS, key management system, all these things, Thales. Infrastructure layer is something how you protect your infrastructure with all those kind of tools. Visibility and monitoring layer is also there, and policy. So when you design any kind of application, you have to make sure that you take care of all those things. All those things should be in place in your application, then only your application will be secure from the cyber attack, and these tools are going to help you to achieve all those things. Okay, now zero trust you already have experience. It is not the new thing. Zero trust tool, it is already there. And we might have experience in our banking app that if we are not using, then we log out after few minutes and then re-verify ourselves. If a new device sign in, so if your new device need to be signing, then there is a Google or Microsoft challenge when the device and the location change. Card transaction alert, a purchase from an unusual city trigger an instant block and verifier. We also keep a kind of validation in our application, where we say that we can't purchase from our credit card more than 40,000. So all these kind of things are used to secure your particular application from unwanted access, to secure the user. Airport security ID check at entry. Nowadays DigiYatra comes into picture, where you will have your DigiYatra wallet, where you will first do your face authentication, then you will upload your boarding pass, then your face authentication or your identity will be tagged with your boarding pass. And when you go to the airport at the entry, the if a camera will be there which will scan your image, photo, and that photo will be compared with the wallet one, and it will check that whether today you are having your flight to catch or not. Okay, if you are having a flight to catch today, then you will be able to get entered into the airport premises. So that is how the verification happens without revealing much information. That one we can say as a zero knowledge proof. We are not revealing anything in the case of Digi Yatra to the other person. Earlier, if you don't go ahead with the Digi Yatra, then you have to carry your boarding pass and you have to carry your Aadhaar card and you have to show all the details to the security person. The security person will match all the details and then only he will allow you to get into the network, the airport premises. But Digi Yatra has changed the entire perception. Okay, so it makes sure that the technology is that much secure and trustworthy that anyone will able to enter the high security zone without verifying, without showcasing their entire detail. Okay. A practical adaptation is that I will suggest that whenever you are designing any kind of application platform, or we first ask that identity first. It means that first show your identity and multiple way of verifying the identity. Then know your asset. Then whatever the device that person is using, it need to be recognized. Okay, it is not something like that. If college has issued one laptop to a person and the student is carrying a new other laptop and trying to connect to the network, and he will be able to do that one. Okay, so at least the IP address need to be tracked so that unwanted access should not be there. Segmented, it means that critical system need to be segmented in different way: exam, finance, research, into a protected zone. Least privilege, the more privilege you give to the user, the most risk you will have. So we have you have to make sure that you give a list privilege, and the other part is the monitor continuously. So this is something all about the zero trust architecture which I have to cover today, and I hope with this application, with this session, you are able to understand about the zero trust architecture concept. I have also shown you the biometric demo and also our zero knowledge proof product. So in the terms of product, if you want to understand something, if you want a demo, please let us know. We will be happy to give you the demo. So that's all from my end, and I hope you have got the information from this session. And thank you for joining today's session. And we will be meeting at 12 o'clock. So over to you, Sweta.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for your insightful and engaging session today. Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you. And I hope I have completed within the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. A warm welcome to Ms. Deepika Annapurna. It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed resource person for the session now. Ms. Deepika Annapurna is an information security specialist with over 8 years of experience in mobile application development and security. She holds an MTech in cybersecurity from BITS Pilani and has built a strong expertise in her secure coding, application security, cloud security, and DevOps. During her professional journey, she has worked extensively in developing secure healthcare applications and implementing robust application security practices, significantly strengthening software security through secure coding standards and authentication mechanisms. Has also served as a trainer and a consultant for prestigious institutions, including the National Communication Academy, Ghaziabad, and the Administrative Staff College of India, Hyderabad, and MCR HRD Institute, where she has delivered expert sessions on cybersecurity, cyber crimes, and DPDP Act, blockchain technology, online privacy, and secure digital practices. Her passion for cybersecurity, combined with her rich industry experience and commitment to knowledge sharing, makes her an inspiring speaker for today's session. On the behalf of the Department of CSC and the Department of CSC AML GISM, it is our great pleasure to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to Ms. Deepika Annapurna. Ma'am, we are truly honored to have with us today. It's over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for introducing me. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining the session today. So, I am sharing my screen. Please give me a minute. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. You can good to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the one of the most important modern security area, identity-centric defense. So identity access management and multi-factor authentication. So I just wanted to know how many of you are using uh, Google Pay, Phone Pay, anyone? So over a past decade, cybersecurity has gone a major transformation, right? Previously, people used to go to office, they used to use office networks, firewalls, and antivirus software over there. Now, the that has become completely different now, right? So people are working from home using cloud applications, mobile devices, and accessing organizational resources from home itself, right? So coming to your college or university, let's take an example. So years ago, every student or faculty member had to physically present to access the library, laboratories, or administration office, everything, right? So nowadays, students are submitting assignments online, faculty is uploading the attendance online, examinations are conducted through portals, mark sheets, everything are going online, right? So the shift has become very fast. So let us understand about identity. So before beginning the technical session, let me explain you the today's objectives, what we are learning. So we'll understand why identity is a new security parameter, and we'll understand on identity and access management, expertise on enterprise identity technologies, and understand the real world identity attacks, differentiate between authentication and authorization, and also learn about how multi-factor authentication is protecting users, and the zero trust and passwordless authentication. Okay, so uh, here is the today's agenda. We'll learn about all these topics today, one by one. So we'll begin the understanding why identity has become the central to the cyber security. What do you mean by identity? What is my identity? What is the main term? Identity means what? Do you know? Do you want to know my identity or the faculty? One of the faculty identity, your ID card, right? Aadhaar card, ID card, passport, voter ID, right? These are your identities. Then what is the digital identity? Digital identity means, so what do you mean by digital identity? Your username, password, right? Yes. So over a past decade, I told you the traditional security is like internet, firewall, office network, and user. So we used to log in earlier organizations working from single office. We used to go to office, log in from there, and use the applications in the organizations itself. And the firewall acted like a security gate inside the office. Anyone inside the network is considered secure or trustworthy. Okay. Now the modern security. Today's situation is completely different. Employees are working remotely. Students are learning online. This session, faculty development program itself is happening online. Everything, it is happening in your hands at your place. So applications are hosted in cloud like Microsoft Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, right? So people are using smartphones, tablets, APIs. So there is no single office network anymore. Yes. So these all are covered under identity. So what do you mean by an identity? What is a digital identity? Digital identity is a user. You are a digital identity or your device, right? When we hear the word identity, we usually think like Aadhaar card, passport. That is our identity. In cyber security, digital identity means something similar, but in digital world, like user, device, application. Okay. So let's say, for example, student, faculty, administrator, employee, laptop, servers, everything is a digital identity. People are not just only the identities, servers are also identities, applications, everything. So let us consider an example. So we have faculty members here. Okay. What faculty member, what are the digital identity the faculty member is having? Okay. The employed ID, right? Your official email ID, department, your department, CSC, and the designation, your designation, you're the professor, HOD, principal, your designation, and the assigned courses. What are the courses assigned under your name? What are the permissions you're having? What are your login credentials? Right? These are your identity. Let's say for a student, roll number, department, which department he belongs to, and his semester, which semester is he studying, attendance, exam registrations, etc., etc. So the user is presents an identity. So when a user presents an identity, the system will authenticate it using your digital identity, like your username, password, email. It will authenticate, and then the authorization or the access will be granted to you. Okay. So this is how it is going to be. This is the digital identity. So what managing thousands of identities is manually difficult, right? You'll have thousands of identities. Yes or no? So managing all these identities are manually difficult. This is where we have identity and access management. This is the heart of today's session. Okay. Identity and access management is a combination of people, policies, processes, and technologies that ensure that right person is having the right access to right resource at the right time. Confusing, right? Right person is having the right access to the right resource at the right time. So when a HR joins a new employee, let's say whether it is university or an organization, HR joins a new employee. What will happen? Employee credentials will be created online. So the credentials will be shared with the person or the employee. So the employee will log in. After employee logins, he will be given the authorization, means the permissions what he can access to, right? So the email account or the Teams, ERP accounts, he will be given access to all these things. Role management. So the person, the employee or the faculty will be given a role. So I have a role of information security specialist. So you are a professor of this department. You are the HOD of the particular department. That is the role. Password management means resetting of password. So you will be getting a temporary password initially. You have to reset that and you have to set a password. Access reviews, checking if all the permissions given to you, what you can access, are still alive. Next, monitoring. Monitoring means detecting whether you have proper login attempts or someone using your name is attempting from different location or not. We can monitor and audit using this. Okay. So when a new faculty member joins, IT team creates a email account, ERP, LMS, library, whatever you have. So instead of manually creating all these accounts, IAM automates the process. What IAM will do, it will automate the process. For example, let's say in a bank, okay, we have a bank. You go to a bank, right? So a cashier, you can see a cashier over there and a branch manager. So they both will not have the same permissions, right? Cashier should not have the same permissions as the branch manager. So IAM, Identity and Access Management, ensures that only permissions are required for your job, not everything. So cashier will be given his permissions and the branch manager permissions are different. So shall I ask you a question? Should an employee who resigned 6 months ago, let's say, have still access to the system now? The person is resigned or left the company 6 months ago. Is he having the access till now? Yes or no? No, right? He should not be given the access. Why? Timely removal of your account is very critical. So let us understand with that with a simple example of IAM life cycle. Joiner, mover, and leaver. With in a simple terms, we say JML. Okay. Every identity will have a life cycle. So whenever an employee joins, HR will inform IT team saying create the credentials for this new employee. So the IT team will get the access and will create account or email on your name or the employee name. When the employee changes the department, he will be assigning the role. So whenever the employee joins, an identity will be created, email or password based on his requirement, and he will be assigned a role. Role is nothing but your department on what is the role, HOD or professor, whatever the role will be assigned. And you will be granted the access. So modifying the role means what if a professor gets promoted to a HOD? The role gets modified, right? The role gets changed. So the professor and the HOD will not have the same access permissions. HOD will have more permissions and will have more access to the application, right? So that is the thing. We need to change the permissions of the from professor to the HOD. And we need to review the access, timely review the access, whether proper permissions are given to the proper employees. What if the employee leaves the organization? Access should be disabled immediately. This is very critical and the most important thing. Later, we should delete the account. So, a professor has become the head of the department, let's say. They receive the new permissions. Later, let's say if the HOD is back to his faculty or the professor role, The old HOD permissions should not remain, right? So giving extra privileges to the employee should not be given. So we need to review, every timely review is important, and we need to review the access privileges and make sure that he is back to his role and the permissions are given to him properly. So timely deprovisioning is very essential. So what do you think is more dangerous? Creating an account late or deleting an account late? Which is more dangerous?
Deleting an account late.
Yes, yes, perfect. Deleting an account late is very dangerous because after completion of his role inside the company, the account should be disabled immediately. We should revoke the access from the user. Giving extra access to the employee is very dangerous, is very risky for the company. So let us understand the core concept. So these two terms, authentication versus authorization, these are the most fundamental concepts of cybersecurity. They sound very similar, but they both are different. They perform completely different functions. So let's understand. Authentication. Authentication means who are you? In the process of verifying the identity, before granting the access, before they grant you the access, they verify your identity. What is your identity? Who are you? The system will check whether the person attempting to log in to your account is genuine, who claim to be genuine. So, how will he check? How will the system check? The login process, username and password, OTP, fingerprint, face recognition, right? We have different methods of authentication. It's just saying that who the person is, who the person is. Authentication, who are you? So what is authorization? Authorization is once the system confirms your identity, who are you? Once it confirms your identity, it moves to the next step. After authentication, we get authorization. The next step is authorization. Authorization means which files, which applications or resources you can access to and what actions you can perform. Okay, what actions you can do. Let's say you have a ERP portal. Okay, you join or you log in as a faculty member and I join as a student. So we both have different permissions to access the same portal, right? A faculty member logs in using their email and password. Even a student logins using the same email and password. But the faculty will upload the quiz. The student will attend the quiz. So I have permission to only attend the quiz, but the faculty will have the permission to upload the quiz and see the marks and upload the marks, and he can take the attendance. Everything can be done by the faculty, but student can only attend the quiz and see the materials or the class stuff which is available online. Yes or no? One more example is you log in as a faculty member and your university or college is having a HR. So HR will have access to the administration or payrolls, everything, right? So the faculty members do not have access to the payroll. You cannot see any payroll or the salary slips, which is accessed by the HR. So HR permissions are different from the faculty permissions. The same way, vice versa, faculty member cannot see HR details and the HR cannot view the student scorecard. Yes or no? The HR is only responsible for the pay slips. Who is in? Who are the students were studying in the college and did they pay the fees? Yes or no? Administration. All these are given to the HR. Yes or right? So when you log in something, the permissions you have differ from the other person. Yes or no? Authentication. Once after the authentication, permissions matter. That is called authorization. What permissions do you have and what permissions do the other student is having. So anatomy of login. So it is simple. Like for example, you are just logging in using your username. What do you think? Entering just a username and password will go to your screen. Yes or no? Logging in is very simple, but it has some anatomy. What is that? So once you enter your username and password, so it will redirect you to the identity provider. So we are going to discuss about Microsoft Entra ID today. So Microsoft is an identity provider. Okay. So we have different identity providers. Let's say Google Identity, Okta, different identities we have. So what an identity provider is like a trusted authority that will verify the user. Instead, every application is have maintaining its own login system. Application trust this identity provider. Okay. Then what identity provider will do? Password verification. The identity provider will check whether the password matches with the stored credentials or not. What it will do? Then again, the next step of password verification is MFA. How many of you are using multi-factor authentication other than password? Like OTP, authentication, fingerprint, face recognition, biometrics. So if an MFA is enabled in your system, the system asks for the additional verification other than password, OTP. Okay, I received an OTP. I have entered the OTP. Then later, access token is generated. After successful verification, password verification, and MFA, the identity provider will create a digital access token. Then application will be accessed. This is what happens within seconds, right? Username, password, MFA. This is what we see in the front end, but behind the screen, this is what will happen. An access token will be generated, and we are using an identity provider here. Okay, let's say an example. Suppose you are entering an airport. Okay, security will check your passport while entering into it. Once they verify your identity, they will be giving you a boarding pass. Yes or no? So throughout the airport, the boarding pass acts as a proof of your identity. Yes or no? Just like an access token. So the boarding pass will be used. Now, no other person will be asking you the passport again and again. You can show the boarding pass. So that acts as an access token. So what would happen if every application is maintaining on own passwords? Let's say. So we have different accounts, right? LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or Google will be maintaining different accounts. What every application is asking for a username and password. Username and password. In previous decade, this have happened, right? So what will happen? You have to remember multiple passwords. Yes. How many passwords can you remember? One or two or three? Let us discuss this. So what happens after you enter the password? So many people think that password is the final step. Once you enter the password, it is done. Yes or no? But that is the actual start. It is the actual beginning. So once the password, the identity provider checks the password, whether it is correct or not, it will check with the credentials. So is this the trusted laptop? It will check the device. Yes or no? It will check the device. Is this the trusted laptop or not? Is the operating system updated or not? Is this the antivirus updated or not? So is this device compliant with the company policies? And the next one is the login location. It is also will be evaluated. If an employee usually logins from Hyderabad, let's say I am logging in from Hyderabad, but suddenly after 5 minutes, someone trying to attempt my account from a different location, let's say US. Is that possible? No, right? Within 5 minutes, I can't go from Hyderabad to US. That is a suspicious login, right? I usually log in from Hyderabad. Whenever the system detects something suspicious, someone has logged into my account from different location or country, that will be suspicious login. Next, MFA check. Okay, if you have enabled MFA, then it will check for the MFA, then access token will be generated. As I told you, a token will be generated on your identity and the application will be granting the access to application. Okay. So what is an access token? We have discussed about generating an access token. Access token is one of the most important concept in modern authentication. Okay. Access token is like a temporary digital identity card. Okay. As I said, it is a temporary digital identity card. Instead of repeatedly proving that who you are, you can present the token. Let's say I went to a conference at some location. Okay. I will show my identity at the entrance, like saying I'm so and so person from IDS company. I have visited here to enter the conference. They will check my identity card, Aadhaar card, etc., etc. They will be issuing me some tag, temporary tag to access the conference. So throughout the conference, that identity card is my proof. That is my proof to access the conference. So, yes, Manisha.
Sorry, mom, it's maybe by mistake. Okay, please
Okay,
continue.
okay, no issues, ma'am. Thank you. So, this is a sample access token. So, this is a JSON file. Let's say my name. This is the name. What is my role? I am a faculty member. What is the department? My department is CSC. So, what are the permissions I am having? What actions I am allowed to do in the ERP portal? Let's say read and upload. That's it. I don't have access to any other thing. Expires in 60 minutes. As I told you, these access tokens are temporary. Okay. I have this token only for the 60 minutes. This is access token. This is the sample access token. Okay. So going on, so these are the authentication protocols. So we till now we have learned the concepts. Okay. Now let's understand the authentication protocols. LDAP is used for directory services. Directory authentication, we are going to use LDAPs. Okay. College Active Directory. Kerberos is for Windows domain authentication. SAML is most commonly used for enterprise single sign-on. OAuth 2.0 is used for API authorization. OpenID Connect, modern user authentication. OAuth allows application to access the resources without sharing the passwords. So as I told you, these all will be generating the tokens, access tokens. They don't share the passwords with the application, but they generate the tokens which will give you the access to the application. So real world OIDC means OpenID Connect. Google sign in. OIDC, Microsoft 365 also comes under OIDC, modern authentication. Enterprise SSO, single sign on, SAML, Active Directory, LDAP, and Kerberos. So think of these protocols as different languages. People from different countries communicate using agreed languages. Similarly, applications communicate using these authentication protocols. Okay. Application communicate with these authentication protocols. How many of you clicked continue with Google whenever you're accessing something, like, let's say you're creating an account on Instagram? Continue with Google or continue with your Facebook account. Most probably you will be seeing every day. Okay, I'll show you that example later. Okay, single sign on. Okay. So imagine remembering different passwords. Let's say 10 different passwords. Can you remember 10 different passwords? Very frustrating, right? We can't remember everything. We can't write down anywhere, right? So you have different credentials, let's say, like your Outlook is different, Gmail and Instagram, everything has a different password. How it looks? You have to remember everything, right? So Without single sign-on, what will happen? For email and password. For ERP portal, you will be having a password. And for LMS, another password. For HR also, for HR login and logout also, you will be having a password. So this is how it happens when you don't have a single sign-on. What if you have a single sign-on? Let's say, so now you people are using Outlook. Okay, you logged in with Teams. So you have created a single sign-on. Microsoft Entra will allow you to log into Outlook, Teams, ERP portal, SharePoint, and Power BI, etc. Yes or not? These all applications are under same Entra ID. As I told you in the previous example, airport security. You have cleared the security, but you're not repeating the process everywhere. You're just you're just showing the boarding pass everywhere, right? So one login using different applications. What will happen? Reducing the password fatigue and improving the security and centralized identity management. Yes or no? How many of you are using this? Once you have created your Entra ID, you are using Outlook, Teams, ERP, SharePoint, everything, right? So let me explain you how it will be done. So almost everyone see buttons like continue with Google or continue with Microsoft, continue with Facebook. Let us understand what is going to happen behind it. So whenever user clicks continue with Google, Google verifies your identity. Yes or no? Then Google will issue a secure token to the website, to the other website. Okay. The website will trust Google. Here, Google is the identity provider. Okay, we discussed identity provider. Google is the identity provider. Then the website will grant access. The website is never sees your Google password. It only gets the Google token from the Google. Okay, I'll show you an example. Okay. Let's say I'm trying to log in from Canva. Right? Can you see my screen? So I'm trying to log in to my Canva account. So it is giving me these many options. Okay, this is how OAuth works. So continue with your phone number, continue with Google, email, Facebook, Apple account, Microsoft, or email. Okay, let's say I will continue with Google. What will happen? So it is asking my Google account. Okay, I have been giving my Google account. So you are signing in back to Canva. Okay, thank you. Review the policies. Next, continue. Done. My logging is done. Okay, I entered to the Canva website. Is this clear? So did Canva ask my password? Did Canva verify my password here? The website is not asking my password. Okay. What happening here is Google, the identity provider is Google is generating an access token, is sending a token to the website. Okay. The website is granting the access, trusting the identity provider, Google. Yes, you understood? This is what happens behind whenever you click continue with Google or continue with your so and so account. So here Google is acting as the identity provider. Okay. So the website is never sees your password or stores your Google password. Just a token will be sent from Google to the website. Okay, this is what happens behind. So the next concept now is multi-factor authentication. What is multi-factor authentication? So in today's world, passwords can be easily guessed. So how strong you use, how toughest password you use, once it gets leaked, what will happen or tricked out? Your account will be compromised. Yes or no? So in today's world, password leakage is very easy. They might trick you with, attackers might trick you with some or the other method. So how much strong it is not important. How secure it is it important. MFA means multi-factor authentication, means verifying your identity using 2 or more independent factors. Okay, before access has been granted. Let's say something you know is your password. Let's say you have entered your email. Okay, then what you will have? You'll have your password or PIN. Then something you know, something you have. What you'll have? Mobile phone, authenticator app, hardware security key, smart cards. So whenever a bank sends you an OTP to the registered mobile number, it will verify something. You are possessing it. So you are logging into a bank account, let's say, with your username and password. The next step is the verifying your identity using the next factor of authentication is your OTP or authentication app. Something you are means it refers to the biological characteristics. Let's say fingerprint, face recognition, iris scan. So biometrics are difficult to copy. Yes, not everyone, every individual is biometrics are different. Everyone will have a unique biometrics. My fingerprint will not match with others. Yes or no? So let's say you are withdrawing a cash from an ATM. So I have my ATM card. Yes, I have something I know. I have my ATM card, something which I know is my PIN. So both are required to withdraw the cash. So someone simply stealing my card doesn't means that he cannot withdraw the cash. Yes or no? So simply knowing my PIN doesn't require it. So if you want the cash from the ATM, you require both ATM card as well as the ATM PIN. Both are required. Okay. For suppose a banking application, when you try to log in with your password, the next step will be your OTP. They will verify using your OTP. OTP will be sent to your mobile number. That mobile, who is having the mobile? You are having the mobile. Once, let's say your password is compromised. Attacker have received your password. Okay, he's trying to log in with your account. Let's say banking account. He tried to enter your username, password. Okay, he successfully tried to log in. Then what is the next step? You will receive an OTP on your mobile number. Then what you will do? You will not share, right? He cannot log in without OTP. Then and there itself, your account is secure. He cannot go through the process of the second factor of authentication, right? This is how you are going to save your accounts. So I think most of you have been using multi-factor authentication in day-to-day basis. Yes, let's say everyone are using Google Pay. Okay. Whenever you try to open the Google Pay application, he will be asking you a PIN to enter. Let's say you have entered the PIN. Okay. I have bought 4 chocolates. I need to pay some amount. After scanning, one more PIN you have to enter, right? That is the another factor of authentication. Before sending, even if it is a 10 rupees also, you need to enter a PIN. Okay. That is the second factor of authentication. Now you are using multi-factor authentication in a day-to-day basis. So I don't say multi-factor authentication cannot eliminate cyber attacks. So it significantly reduces the chances of unauthorized access. Yes or no? So compromised, though your password is compromised, the second step of verification, that is multi-factor, second factor of authentication, will not lead the attacker to access your account. So why passwords alone are not enough? So since many years, passwords are the primary method of authentication. So today, they remain important, but they are no longer sufficient. Password is not just enough. Yes, authentication or the second factor of authentication is also important. Let's say why passwords are not enough. The first example, phishing. So many people have received phishing emails, right? Anyone? So phishing is one of the most common cyber attacks. So attackers are creating a fake login pages. They look identical to the legitimate page. Let's say you have a HDFC bank. Okay. They create a fake login page identical to HDFC bank. So they will send you a phishing email saying that you have to update your Aadhaar card immediately or your account will be locked. Okay, they are creating a panic. So immediately what you will do after receiving the email, okay, my account will be locked. Immediately I have to change the Aadhaar card or update my Aadhaar card details. So you will click the link and you will be redirected to the fake login page. So what will happen there? You will enter your username password of the original bank account to the fake login page. Yes or no? So the page looks very legitimate, exactly like your HDFC bank. What will happen? Your credentials will be stolen. So you are handing over your username and password to the attacker. Okay. This is how phishing will happen. So just giving the username and password is not enough. Brute force. Brute force means attackers use automated software to guess passwords. Let's say passwords 123456 or admin123 can be guessed within seconds, right? Easy to guess. So the attacker will try to guess different passwords on your account. That is called brute force attack. Password spraying. Instead of trying many passwords for one user, attackers try one common password on different thousands of accounts. Password spraying. Spraying itself says one to many. The attacker will be trying to use the same password for different accounts. Okay. Next, credential stuffing. This is a type of attack where attacker uses the password leaked from the previous data breaches. So many users, what they will do, they will reuse the same password across multiple websites, right? If one website got compromised, let's say my Gmail account is compromised. So he will try to use the same password for my LinkedIn or some different account, let's say Canva or some other. So if one of the account or website is compromised, the same credentials he will use elsewhere. Everything will get compromised if they use the same password everywhere. Password reuse. This also comes under the same one. So people often believe that I can remember only one password. Often they will use the same password for different accounts. So this is a password reuse. Key logging. What do you mean by key logging? So a keylogger secretly records everything you type. Whenever I'm typing a message to you, it gets everything you type gets recorded. Okay. Let's say you have received an email. It contains some malware in it. Okay. When a malware gets when you install the malware inside your computer, and when you try to enter a password or username in some website, everything you type will be recorded. This is called keylogger. How strong your password is not important. If the keylogger records everything, your password is leaked. So this is why passwords are not just enough. MFA significantly reduces the risk of unauthorized access. Let's say I'm creating a strong password with 20 characters. Okay. Am I safe? Do you think am I safe using 20 character password? No. Still a phishing attack or brute force or a keylogger can reveal my password. Yes or no? So strong passwords are important, but password alone is not cannot defend against the modern attacks. So that is why nowadays organizations combine passwords with multi-factor authentication. Let us understand what kind of multi-factor authentications do we have and what is the security and what is the convenience. Probably SMS OTP is the most familiar method you have known, right? So this is easy to use, but the security is medium. So what happens when you have some network issue or network dependency? If you don't have any network on your side, so it is difficult. Email OTP better than just password. But what if your email is compromised? Its security is minimum, but convenience is high. Authenticator application. So everyone are having this Microsoft accounts, right? So you are logging in using your Microsoft Authenticator. The security is high. So it will generate some random security codes or will send you some push notification. So you can approve or deny. So if I get your password, let's say I'm trying to log in using your Microsoft account, it will send you a push notification to your mobile. Yes or no? So clicking on the push notification, it will ask you whether you are trying to access the application. Is that you or not? You can deny then and there itself. If you deny, the attacker cannot move further. He cannot access the application or your account. Okay. Hardware security key. Yes, this is very high security, but the convenience is medium. Why? What happens if you lose the key? Right? So the convenience is medium here. Biometrics. Yes, biometrics using your fingerprint, face recognition, the security is high as well as the convenience is also high. Right? Face ID, fingerprint, Windows Hello, touch, everything. So which MFA methods do you currently use? What are the methods you're using? Anyone? Okay, going on to the next slide. Microsoft Authenticator. So if your organization is using Microsoft 365, okay, you have probably encountered Microsoft Authenticator. You know about this Microsoft Authenticator. As I told you, you will be having a push notification whenever you attempt to sign in. Instead of receiving SMS, you will be getting a push notification on your mobile saying, are you trying to sign in or not? You can approve or deny then and there itself. Okay. So number matching. User must enter a number shown on the screen to approve. You need to enter the 2-digit number which has been given to you on the screen. And time-based OTP, you will be having a 6-digit code that refreshes every 30 seconds. That is called time-based OTP. And next, device registration. So the application also registered your mobile device with your identity. It is not just identifying you, it also registered your device with your identity. This will create additional trust, okay, for your identity and your device. Okay. Microsoft Entra ID. So as I told you, it is one of the identity provider. Using this Microsoft Entra ID, whenever a user logins through Microsoft, he will be using different applications of Microsoft Outlook, Teams, SharePoint, Azure portal, third-party applications using this Microsoft. Yes. So whenever your administrator create an account, your Entra ID will be created. So your permissions will be assigned to groups. So Entra centrally manages the multi-factor authentication, single sign-on. Okay, we will discuss that next. I'll show you practically how Entra ID is handling everything. So Should every application independently maintain passwords? Do you think so? No, right? So whenever you're using Outlook, Teams, SharePoint, everything do not have any independent passwords. One single identity called Entra identity. Okay. What is the conditional access? What do you mean by conditional access? So traditional security will have a username and password. Okay. So is this password correct or not? So now the modern security is different from the traditional security. So what modern security is checking? Whenever user try to log in, he will check the device. Is the device trusted device or is the location expected from the user? Then it will go to the next step. If the login is risky, what it will do? If it is from a trusted device or location, it will allow the access. Yes. If it is an unknown device, it will ask for multi-factor authentication. If it is not from the trusted device or from different location, it is a high risk sign in. Then it will block the access. So the after signing in, the conditional access means it will check is the antivirus installed, is Microsoft BitLocker enabled, or operating system is updated or not, what is the geographical location you are trying to log in from, your IP address, everything will be checked by the Entra ID. Using your Entra ID, everything will be tracked. Let me give you an example of Entra. Yeah, this is the Entra admin center. Okay, let me show you an overview on this. So till now we have discussed, once your account is created, your Entra ID will be created, right? What will happen? This is the overview. This is the domain. This is our company domain. Okay. This is the license we are having. Okay. And coming to users. So so these are the list of users who have registered in our domain. Okay. What are the principal name means the ID. What is the user type? Is it a guest, member, or a guest, or admin? Is an agent, on-premise systems or not, his identity, company name, creation type. Okay. So we discussed about sign-in logs also, right? We discussed on sign-in logs also. Here is how sign-in logs appear in the Microsoft Entra. Let's take an example. So someone at 12:49 request ID. Here is the request ID. Here is the name, application. So the person is trying to access my Office 365. What is the status? Yes, success. Any error? Zero. What is the IP address? I told you the location will be tracked. IP address as well as location. So she is accessing from Delhi. Is conditional access not applied? Agent type. What is the authentication? Single factor, multi-factor, you can see these are the sign-in logs. From which location they are trying to access? From Nagpur, Bhopal, Howrah, West Bengal. So everything will be tracked in the sign-in logs. You can see the deleted users also. These are the deleted users. Once the user is no longer inside the company, they can be disabled immediately and deleted from the list. Okay, next coming to the devices. So your devices will already getting locked. Okay, once you log in from this device, let's say I am logging in with this laptop. So my device will be tracked or my device ID will also be entered inside the Entra ID. Let's say this device is enabled this operating system. You can see the operating system. What is the version they are using? What is the join type? Yes, Entra ID registered. Who is the owner of the device? Is MDM enabled? What are the security settings? Complaint or not? When they got registered to the system? When is the last activity? This is the list of devices which we are having. Okay. So deleted devices also will keep on track. Okay. Next, we can change the device settings here and BitLocker keys. This is the BitLocker key. You will be having a 32-digit lock digital key. So now every person is working remote. Yes or no? So how can I have access to his system? Whether he's sharing the information, whether he's using the system in a wrong way. So enabling BitLocker will help me to lock his account, or remotely I can wipe his data from the admin side. Next, these are the things we are conditional multi-factor authentication, OAuth token, okay, and phone call settings. What are the next factor of authentication do we have? And password reset. Okay, if you forget your password, you can reset your password. So whenever your account is created in Microsoft, your device or you as a user will be registered in Entra ID. Your Entra ID will be created, and as well as your device will be registered here. You got my point? And we'll be having one more thing here called groups. Okay. So you can see all the groups here. I think something. Okay. Did you get my point? So this is how Entra will work. Okay. Your identity, your device, your name or your email. Once it is created, everything will be tracked here. You can see audit log, sign in log, who logged in, and you can also check if there are any multiple logins from different accounts. Is the same user trying to log in, or you if you have any failures? Okay, something is happening here, failure. It shows the failure from which IP address it is happening, from which place. So is everything good, or is a single factor authentication or a multi-factor authentication? Everything will get logged here. Okay, this is how Entra ID will work. The actual thing which is happening behind your Outlook. Okay. Next comes our topic, zero trust security. So till now we have discussed identity, authentication, authorization, multi-factor authentication, right? So all of these concepts come together under one modern security model that is called zero trust. Zero trust means never trust anything, always verify. This is the fundamental principle of zero trust. This is the core principle of zero trust. Okay. Why this is introduced? Why zero trust is introduced? Traditionally, before over a decade, organizations assumed that if a user was inside the office network, so people used to go to office, they could be trusted. So he works inside the office with the office systems, he log out and he go out. So everything is inside the office itself only. Now today's environment is completely changed, and employees are working remote. Students are accessing learning portals. Now an FDP session is happening online. So the situation has completely become different. So what is the first step of this framework? The first question is, who is requesting the access? First, we need to verify the system verifies the user identity using authentication methods such as password, biometric, MFA, whatever it is. As I told you, it will verify your device also. As I have shown you, the device name Is the laptop managed by the organization? Antivirus is installed or not? BitLocker is enabled or not? Which operating system? Everything gets tracked. The location, as I told you, IP address and the location is also getting tracked. Okay. Next, it will assess the risk. So modern identity platform continuously analyze the risk. So for example, someone is logging in using my credentials somewhere from US, but I am from India. I logged in just 5 minutes ago from India or Hyderabad, let's say. Someone logging in using my account within 5 minutes from away from here, let's say from different country. That is not possible, right? So it will assess the risk, taking the location. Next, applying the least privilege. As I told you, if every successful login, after every successful login, users receive only permissions, the permissions necessary for their work. This is called principle of least privilege. Like the student will have his permissions, the faculty will have their permissions to access. Okay. Then the application will have grant the access. Okay. Zero trust is not just a product, it is a security strategy. Okay. Built using technologies. It is built using technologies like IAM, MFA, conditional access, endpoint security, continuously monitoring everything. So, passwordless authentication and passkeys. So passwords have existed for decades, as I told you. Okay, username and password. But they have also become the weakest point for cybersecurity. So in this traditional approach, let's say user creates a password. What will happen? The server will store a password hash. Then later, during the login, the password will get verified. Although passwords are hashed and protected, they can still be stolen. Yes or not? Using phishing attempts or something you can, the credentials can be stolen or reused. So what happens in passwordless login or passwordless authentication? The user's identity is verified without entering any password, biometric or PIN, yes, device PIN, cryptography keys, or trusted devices. Okay, then the access will be granted. Passkeys are one of the newest and most secure authentication technologies. So whenever it comes storing of passwords, the device generates two keys. Okay, a private key and a public key. A private key which stays securely on your device and the public key which is stored on the web application. So during login, the website sends a challenge. Let's say your device sign in using a private key, or the website verifies if it is with the public key. Okay. So these are the everyday examples which we use: Windows Hello, Face ID, Touch ID, and the passkeys. So you don't need to remember any passwords, resist to phishing, and faster login. So what happens without MFA? What will happen without multi-factor authentication? So whenever you try, you get a phishing email and it will be redirected to the fake login page. Then what will happen? You will be entering your username and password in the fake login page. Then your credentials will be stolen. The attacker will try to log in from your account. Your account will be compromised. The system doesn't know whether it's you or someone else trying to log in your account. Okay, the account will be compromised without multi-factor authentication. What will happen in multi-factor authentication? Okay, your password is stolen. Okay, fine. What will happen after that? Attacker tries to log in. So what will happen in the next step? As you have MFA enabled, MFA prompt will be sent, let's say a notification or an OTP, an email OTP. So what happens? I don't approve any OTPs or I don't click on any push notifications. What will happen? The attacker cannot access the account. So as I have shown you the sign-in logs just now, right? Entra sign-in logs. What you can see the username, status, location, IP address, device, MFA is enabled or not, risk. So this is the screen which I'm trying to show you. These are the sign-in logs. Date, request ID, user, who is the user, and what is the application he's trying to status, where any errors, and this is the IP address, location, conditional access, authorization. This is what the sign-in is. Okay. So why sign-in logs matter? Why they are tracking the sign-in logs? We can detect any anomalous logins, investigate any suspicious activity. As I told you, someone trying to log in different times. So someone is using my password to log in multiple times or using multiple IP address. So that looks suspicious, right? That is way we can, in the sign-in logs, we can track it. Support incident response. Some incident happened inside the company, some like account got compromised. We can track the incident. So auditing can be done based on the evidence. So IAM, what are the best practices of IAM? We need to enable multi-factor authentication for all the users using principle of least privilege. Role-based access control. Based on your role, access should be given to you. Conduct periodic access reviews. We need to conduct a periodic access reviews every month or every week. We need to check the reviews, whether correct access has been given to the person or not. Remove inactive accounts promptly. As I told you, we need to disable or delete the account immediately using single sign-on. Monitor sign-in logs. We need to monitor sign-in logs regularly to check whether there is any anomalous thing or suspicious activity going on. So enforcing of strong password or passwordless policies. So we need to train users to recognize the phishing attempts. So these are the emerging trends in identity security: passwordless authentication, passkeys, and identity threat detection, AI-driven risk-based authentication, continuous authentication, and behavioral biometrics, decentralized identity, and verifiable credentials. So these are the emerging trends in identity security. So I'm just wrapping up. Here are the topics we discussed today on identity-centric defense. Identity, why it is a security perimeter, IAM, authentication and authorization, multi-factor authentication, why single sign-on in use, what is zero trust, why passwordless authentication and passkey represent the future. Every user plays a vital role in digital identity. This is the main point actually. So we as a user plays a vital role in protecting our digital identity. Okay, we need to protect ourselves. That's it. Thank you. I am done. Over to you, Shweta ma'am.
Um, if you have any questions, you can post in chat box. Okay, we come to the end of the today's session. Sincere gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Mr. Amit Chandra and Ms. Deepika Annapurna, for sharing their valuable knowledge and insights. We also thank all our faculty participants for their active participation and enthusiasm. Okay, have a good day. Thank you all. Feedback
Thank
link
you,
will be
ma'am. Thank
shared.
you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Have a good
Thank
day.
you. Thank you, everyone.